Hey, hey, hey. Hello, how are you? Welcome back. I am excited for today's Growth Mindset Live. We are live on YouTube and on TikTok. So if I look away from the screen, you know that I'm just looking in the other place. You will want to grab today's handout at lifepixuniversity.com/live. I put them in the comments. /live/5. Okay, because if you put in the wrong number, you're going to get a wrong week's handout, wrong lives handout. So that's LifePix, life, like the word life, Pix, Pix, university.com/live/the number 5. And we are going to start. We are going to discuss today what's the steps to a growth mindset, how to move up the steps, the growth mindset steps. And then number 3, we're going to discuss 7 tips to accelerate the process. Are you ready? Okay. If you have today's handout in the comments, I want you to put I have it. Put the words I have it in today's comments. If you grabbed it already, if you don't have a printer, that's okay. You could just open it up on your screen so that way you could see. It will be a lot easier for you, especially this week. There's a lot of visual in there. And grab a separate piece of paper and pen to just write down. You will want to take notes so you remember things better. Now, remember, notes don't have to be in words. They could be in pictures. They can be however your brain works best. But we are going to start. Okay, so if you are not new here and you know the difference between a fixed and growth mindset, I want you to put in the comments, what is a fixed mindset and what is a growth mindset? I'm going to give you a minute to do that. And you could also do that on your workbook. Right off, you see there, right at the top, steps to a growth mindset. That's the right word. And then it says growth mindset and fixed mindset. I'm going to give you a minute to write in your definition, and then I will tell you what I have. Let's see if you could put it in the comments. That's my coffee to keep me alive here while we do this. Okie dokie. Okay. So a growth mindset, someone who has a growth mindset believes that intelligence and talents can be developed over time. It's the concept, having the mindset that we could grow and we could learn anything whenever. People with a fixed mindset have the opposite. They believe that intelligence and talents are something that you're born with and it stays that way always. Okay. Now I'm going to give you another minute and I want to see if you could add on the line. There should have room on the line on your paper because you have 2 lines there. On the second line, write some of the characteristics of someone with a growth mindset and someone with a fixed mindset. Like, I'll give you an example. Someone with a growth mindset is willing to take risks. Okay, so now I'm not going to give you anything else. You're going to fill them in. I want you to either put them in the comments, put them on your notes, do it in both, and share with us what are some characteristics of a fixed mindset and what are some characteristics of a growth mindset. If you're just joining us now, you could grab today's handout at lifepixuniversity.com/live/5, the number 5. Okay. What are some characteristics of a growth mindset? What do you have there? Okay, so we said someone with a growth mindset is willing to take risks. They are willing to try new things. They are constantly always learning. They believe in themselves. They trust the process. They know they're going to make mistakes. When they hear criticism, they take it and they think about it. And they decide, is this good? Should I listen to this? Should I change it? Or is this not worth it? And I'll just forget about it. That is some of the characteristics of a growth mindset. Does anyone else have anything else? Now, for a fixed mindset, it's just the opposite. They don't take any criticism. They don't like trying new things. They don't like learning. They very much stay in their own ways, do the things they've always done, not really trying new things. Now, here's the really cool part. If you are not new to growth mindset, you know this. We all have both a fixed and a growth mindset, I want you to think about something in your brain, something that you're really good at. Is it playing guitar? Is it writing emails? Is it signing on clients? What do you have? What do you have a growth mindset in? What's something you're really good at that is about having a growth mindset? Now, what's something that you think you just can't do? You just can't do it, and you're just like really bad at it. That's the thing that you have fixed mindset in. So we both have both, okay? And we can, at any point, decide we want to go from a fixed to a growth mindset. But it usually doesn't happen overnight. It can. It is very possible. You could just like go bam, like that, and go from a fixed to a growth mindset. But from my experience with most people, we don't just like go like that, because even if we do, our mind still has like these voices in our backgrounds that are trying to pull us back. So even if for a moment you jump to growth mindset, all of a sudden you come back here. Yes, for those of you asking, I'm live on YouTube and on TikTok, so I'm talking to you both. When I look at you, you know I'm talking to you, and at the same time I'm still talking to the screen, both at the same time. Okay. Speaking of which, if you just came here, grab today's handout at lifepixuniversity.com/live/5, the number 5. So that way you can go and follow along with us. Okay. Now, as I was saying, we have both a fixed and growth mindset. So are you ready to learn about the 8 steps to a growth mindset? Actually, if you will look on your handout, you will see this very popular image that is running all over the internet. I wish I was able to reference where I got this picture from, because I love it so very much, but I have no idea who deserves credit for it. Maybe I should have put unknown near it, but it's an amazing picture that shows all the steps to a growth mindset. So if you have it in front of you, you will be able to see exactly what you're talking about. If not, I will show you. Are you ready? Okay. The very first one is when you're really at a really fixed mindset and we are going up the ladder to a growth mindset. Okay. So we start from, if you look at your picture, what I love about it so much is that little like guy there that's going up the steps shows the expressions of the steps so well. It's not just the words that he's thinking, but it's the expressions of it. Okay. So the very first step is I won't do it. That's it. I won't do it. I can't. And then the next one is I can't do it. Not just I won't do it. I can't do it. Then it's like, maybe I want to do it. Okay. Then goes, okay, so I want to do it. How do I do it? Then we move up to I will try to do it. Then comes I can do it. Number 7 is I will do it. And number 8 is yes, I did it. Sorry if that banged into your ear. Yes, I did it. I just got super excited. Okay. Now, like I said, most people don't usually jump from I won't do it to yes, I did it. That doesn't usually happen like this. Usually it's a process. Now, some people will go up literally 1 step a week, and it will take them multiple weeks until they get to where they want to go. And some people, it will take them a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, but it'll be like, I won't do it. I can't do it. Actually, maybe I want it. Now, how do it, right? We're going up the steps. You could think of trying to convince someone something and what it was like when you were doing that. Okay. Now we are going to discuss how we move up the growth mindset steps in 3 steps. 3 steps to moving up the growth mindset steps. Are you ready? Let us do this. Okay. Write it down on your paper, because there you have lines and you have space to go and do this. The very first one is, like everything, if you want to make a change in anything, you need self-awareness. So the very first step is to identify where on the growth mindset steps are you. Now, let's take, just for sake of conversation, let's say you want to make $1 million. Let's just use that for an example. Why not? Okay. Now, you could have the mindset, I won't do it. I want $1 million, but like I won't be able to do it. Or you might be at, I want $1 million, but I can't do it. Or is it it's like, I want $1 million and I really want it. And I really want it and I'm going to find a way to make it happen. Or it could be, I want $1 million. How do I do it? Okay. You want to identify, where are you? How do I do it? When you're at the stage of how do I do it? What does it look like? You're usually researching ways to make money. You're hiring mentors. You're looking to see who else can help you make this $1 million, right? Okay. Let's think of another example. Let's say you want to learn a new language. Nah, I don't see a reason why I should learn French. I don't want to learn French. I can't learn French. I just can't learn French. It's just too hard. It's not for me. I want to learn French. I really, really, really want to learn French. How do I learn French? Which apps will help me? Which teacher can I hire? Which books do I read? Which movies shall I watch? How do I learn French? I will try to learn French. I will try every day. I will set a time to learn French. I can learn French. You know what? It's really hard. I put every day 20 minutes to learn French. I can't do it, but I'm doing it. I will do it. I will learn French. And then what happens eventually? After some time, you are learning French, right? So I want you to think of an example for yourself of how it's going. Okay, so you want to identify where it is where you are on the steps, because it is going to affect your next action. Let's say you want to learn how to play guitar. Okay, I want to learn how to play guitar. Usually, when you're at this, you're probably going to be past the I want stage, because if you I won't do it, you're not even thinking about the growth mindset, if that makes sense, right? You're just like, I have no desire in learning how to build houses. So I'm not even going to go there. But if I want to learn how to play guitar, it's like, okay, how do I learn how to play guitar, right? So first step number one, you're right in your line, your very first step is identifying where on the growth mindset steps are you. Everything starts with self-awareness. Number two, what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, what would I do if I were on the next step? Okay, so let's take for this example, I'm trying to give you as much examples as possible. So we're going to go just so that you can see how it applies to all areas of life. Okay, so let's say for cooking, okay? Let's say you identified and you are on I want to do it. I want to learn how to cook. Okay, now what you're going to think about for the next step is, what would I be doing if I was on the next step and I had the thought processes of how to do it? As someone who is trying to think about how do I learn how to cook, what does that type of person do? Let's put some examples in the comments. What type of actions is a person who has the mindset of, what do I need to do to learn how to cook? Let's think about it. This person is watching cooking movies, cooking shows. This person is reading cookbooks. This person is buying new and interesting ingredients, right? This person is maybe taking private cooking classes. What type of person, what type of action, I'm keeping messing this up. What type of action is a person who's on the step above you, right? So if you are on the step, let's say you want to learn how to write better copy, copywriting, to write better stuff for your websites, for your email, stuff like that. Okay. And you are on the step of, I can't do it. Let's say you're on the step of, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I want to do this, but just can't do it. I have this, I know this is what I need to do, but I can't do this. What type of actions is a person on the next step I want to do this taking? And then you're going to go and do that. That's exactly step number 3. So to recap, how to move up the growth mindset steps. Number 1, identify what step you're on. Number 2, think about what a person on the next step, what type of action is the person on the next step taking? I'm going to repeat that. What type of action is the person on the next step taking? And number 3, take that action. I know I'm stumbling over my words, but I hope you understand. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments. Okay, are we good? Are you ready to go into the next part? This coffee will wake me up. I've been sleeping in the rehab with my dad for the past couple of weeks, so my sleep deprivation is quite high. But we will continue. 7 steps to accelerate the process. Are you ready? We are going to write them down. And if you need more space in your notes, you could just turn it over your paper in the back of the paper, but you should have no space. But let's see if you can also put in examples. Okay, ready? 7 ways to accelerate the process. Some people, like I said, right, they go up this process very slowly and it can take them weeks, months, sometimes even years. And some people, it takes them very quickly. It will also depend on what you're trying to learn, okay? But let's see, how could you accelerate this process? Number 1, change your language, okay? Change your language. Language has a massive effect on how you do things. And when you change your language, instead of I can't do this, and you say I will do this, or I want to learn how to do this, or I'm going to find a way how to do this, then you will move up the steps faster. So you could think of what's the language is the person on the next step talking. I actually did a whole workshop on this. It is, you can go to the YouTube, it's going to be under Growth Mindset Lives. You'll see there, it's Growth Mindset Live, I think number 3, simple ways to change your language from a fixed to growth mindset. So there's a whole many ways how to go and do that. A lot of examples in there. Okay, number 2. Okay, 7 steps to accelerate the process. Number 2 is give yourself space to feel the fear and do it anyways. Okay, feel the fear and do it anyways. It takes courage to jump up the steps and do it anyways. Number 3, identify the specific problem and seek specific solutions. Okay. Usually when we have a fixed mindset about something, we say, I just can't do this whole thing. And just say, okay, this whole thing I just can't do. And we just say, like, let's say you want to learn how to decorate cakes and it like got too hard. So you're just like, I can't decorate cakes. It's just so hard. Maybe this specific problem is you learning how to deal with fondant, or you learning how to make the right type of royal icing, or I'm not into cake decorating, so I can't be giving good examples about it. But when you identify the specific problem, you can come up with a specific solution. I'll tell you a secret. It's actually a cognitive function of identifying the specific problem. Okay? That's just, by the way, a side thing. Okay. Number 4, remind yourself of your motivation, okay? You need to have a reason why you are doing what you are doing. You're not doing it just because. There is a specific reason why you're doing it, okay? Number 5, this was a little interesting and one that I don't know if you'll be expecting, but sometimes if you're not sure what to do and how to move up the steps, journal with your non-dominant hand. So the hand you don't usually use to write with, you're going to go and you're just going to start writing. Okay, and you might come up with a solution to get a specific action step. So what I like to do is I take 2 markers. You could use pens, but colored markers are way more fun. You ask the question with the hand you usually write with. So if you're a righty, it's going to be your right hand, and if you're a lefty, it's going to be your left hand. Thinking and logically, what should I do about this? How can I move up? Then whatever your question is, write it down with your right hand. Answer without thinking with your non-dominant hand, the hand you don't usually use to write with. Now, it's going to come out messy. It's going to come out weird. It's going to look like a 3-year-old wrote it, but it's totally fine. It's going to get straight into your amygdala, straight into your part of your brain that deals with emotions in your subconscious, and we'll be able to give you very specific answers. I'm not going to go into the whole science now because it gets very sciencey, but it is super, super cool. Okay, now number 6. Remind yourself it's about the process. Don't get frustrated. I mean, you might get frustrated, but when you get frustrated, remind yourself it's about the process and stay in that growth mindset mode, okay? And then number 7, see if you can make it a habit to do one little tiny action. Okay, that will help you move up towards the next way. So let's say you want to get better at painting. You're going to make it a habit that 3 times a week after dinner, you take 20 minutes to paint, something like that, whatever it is. Okay, so to recap the 7 tips to accelerate your process. Change your language, give yourself space to feel the fear and do it anyways. Identify the specific problem and seek specific solutions. Remind yourself of your motivation. Number 5 is journal with your non-dominant hand. Number 6 is remember about the process. And number 7 is make it a habit to do a little action. And I was going to that's say every day, but it's like now it's possible to every day. So as often as you possibly can. Okay, so that is it. Nice, short, and sweet. Today we discussed the steps to a growth mindset, 3 steps to move up the steps to a growth mindset, and 7 ways to accelerate the process. This was so much fun. If you have any more comments, you can put any more questions, you can put them in the comments. I'd love to answer them for you. And if you're not listening to LifePix University podcast, I strongly recommend you go out there and hit subscribe and follow so you can find out when a new episode is released. I do a lot of things in depth on the LifePix University podcast, like going through cognitive functions and developing your growth mindset. So head over there. It's available on your favorite podcast app. I will see you. Thank you so much for joining me here, and I'll see you next time.